Good morning, friends, and welcome back to my hobby home. My name is Kathy. Thank you so much for joining me. I know I'm looking haggard, friends, but I'm not haggard. It's about 5:40 a.m. this Saturday morning. I normally record the day before for you guys. I was seeing my daughter and her fiance's new little house. It is definitely a first-time home buyer fixer-upper, but it's theirs, and it's in a nice area. So we're happy for them. We spent the evening out there with them while she was doing a little cleaning, and my grandbaby's going to be here today. So I thought, well, I really wanted to get in the sewing room today because I want to make some progress on our Charmed, I'm Sure quilt. So we're just doing 2 rows at a time. That's all we're getting done, and that's good enough. So while I'm chit-chatting, I'm just going to get started here doing my 2x2s. You know how we do. We're doing a little Noah's Ark today. We're going 2x2. And I don't think I pulled enough white fabrics out. I didn't. But that's okay. They're right here in front of me. I can grab them. We are just assembling these rows 2 at a time, and that is okay. I am feeling much better, guys. I mean, I'm still struggling with the breathing, but I'm feeling much better. So thank you all for your concerns and your messages. I really appreciate it. You may hear me being a little breathy, but that's okay. I am doing the breathing treatments, and they get me all hyped up, guys. Just give me all kinds of energy, and you could probably tell I did one as soon as I woke up this morning, which was at 4:30. Go figure. I don't have to wake up that early, but I did. And that's okay, because I have a lot of things I want to get done. AKA, that is the albuterol talking. So, how are you guys doing today? We had a 70-degree day yesterday, so guys, there's going to be a lot of people sounding like me, and I know I'm sounding a lot better. It does seem to be getting better. Now, I don't understand this. We had to do half square. Mine are all just going to look the same. I think I'm going to make mine kind of look like a pinwheel. I don't know. Maybe not. No, it's probably going to look like 2 hourglass blocks. It's probably what it's going to look like. It don't matter. Just as long as the blocks are put together, and we got a cute little quilt out of it at the end. But it is well, of course it's been a long weekend for me because I've been off work since, well, I was off all last week, and then I was off the Wednesday and Thursday before that. So I am just ready to get back to it, guys. Y'all ever have those moments where, a lot of people, they're like, hey, they want to be taken off work. I don't. I want to be at work. I like to be at work. Not that I don't have plenty of work to do here. Maybe that's why I want to be at work. And guys, y'all will be so proud of me. All my longtime viewers, my people that have watched my videos for a while, they know how hard it is. Or last year. Last year was a struggle getting my Christmas decor down. My Christmas tree, although undecorated, didn't come down until July. It is down. It is in the box. It is in the shed. Hallelujah. That's we got it done. We getting it done. So we will take that. And let's turn that butterfly where it's upright. But all I have left to get my Christmas down, I was going to leave my garland up because it's just, it's lighted and it's like a fir branch. And it's really pretty on my mantle, you know. I could have left that up because my candles for Christmas, I can leave up for Valentine's Day because it's a white base with a red candle on it. So I could have easily left those on. Well, I'm leaving those up for Valentine's. But I'll take them down in the summer because summertime I put like some mauve or pinkish color because magnolias is kind of what we do. Okay, I need to get 2 more whites out of my bin. Y'all see I've got my little fabric bin here. It's got all my pieces cut out in it. I try to keep that pretty close. Don't know why I didn't pull out enough fabric. But that's okay. It will be okay. Because all we're doing... And y'all, I'm sorry if I'm talking 90 to nothing. That's just how I'm feeling right now on the inside. I'll try to slow it down a bit. But I got my grandbaby coming over this morning so his mom and daddy can be getting some moving things done. And I told her she didn't even ask me to because she knew I'd been feeling so bad. And so she didn't even ask. But I just told her I would keep him, you know, because I asked her if they needed me to keep him so they could get more work done, you know. Because I know how hard it is to move with a little baby. You know, I mean, well, he's 2. He loves it out there, though. My goodness, he had his tunnel toy, and that's all I can call it. I thought it was a cat toy. It's a tunnel with 2 little houses connected on the ends of it. And my goodness, he goofed and played and goofed and played, and he just had him a good old time. Okay, I'm trying to remember how I had these connected before. It's not going to matter as long as they're opposites. And I don't have 2 of the same color side by side. You know, I don't know what I was thinking when I did these. This is supposed to be kind of scrappy. And you probably could if you had, if you have a scrap charm box, this would be perfect to use those up. This came out of the Soft Squares Box A. So now how did I have 2 of the same? I thought I had 4 and 4, but obviously I didn't. I've got to make sure I'm sewing the right side because how I just did that's how I sew on the wrong side. I put the bottom together first and then that makes me sew the bottom of it instead of the side of it. Okay, so now we got our white and our color on the end. And friends, after this, we've got all of our pieces assembled. So all we have to do next is to assemble the rows. But anyway, I was talking about my grandbaby. He's coming today. And when he gets here, his mama tells me she can't get him to eat grits. Now, for my friends from the north, I know people, they're like, well, what is a grit? In college, my roommate was from Joliet, Illinois. And one day, because, you know, when you're in college and you live in the dorm, your food is kind of limited to the cafeteria or, you know, back in the day when I was in college, because you had your food places on campus. And you know, your food was on your card, your ID card. So my roommate, I just told her, because one day she was going down, and we did this for each other all the time. I'd give her my ID card while I was taking a shower. She'd go grab breakfast, or she'd take a shower and I'd go grab breakfast. And she's like, what do you want? I was like, I just want some grits and toast. And she's like, what is a grit? I hear everybody talking about grits. What is a grit? And I told her, I said, it's just ground corn is all it is. It's just ground corn. And she's like, that's what we feed the hogs. And I'm like, well, you know. But it was kind of funny. It kind of was, because, you know, I had to school her on grits, and she'd never had fig preserves. Now, a lot of people, I do not subscribe to this, but a lot of people do their fig preserves in like the strawberry jello stuff. I don't do that. My fig preserves are figs, and we make a simple syrup to put our figs in. And they're whole figs. They're not crushed. Not that you don't cook your figs down. But I carried some figs to campus with me one time. My aunt had, or my grandmother, one of them had made figs. And so, you know, what we did was, I carried some up there because they sent them back with me to go carry back to college. And they sent me a pan. We did have a microwave. That's one thing I made sure I had living in the dorm. I did have a microwave. I'm not that archaic. But so my aunt had sent me some hot biscuits, or they weren't hot by the time I got back, and some fig preserves. So, you know, I could eat those things on campus. Okay. I'm having to make sure I don't add my last row, because we'll have, let me see, what do we have? 3, 4. Okay, so I have 2. I got myself so confused right there, guys. I've got 2 sets of 2, and then this is my last set of 2. So this is the starting to my second row, and these go this direction instead of this direction. That was the direction they went on what row was that? 5th row? And guys, this pattern here should have finished it in a weekend. I'm just taking my time with it. No rush. Trying to get back into the new year. My motto for 2026 is slow and steady. Taking it easy. Smashing the stash. No spend. Although, I do have some things to show you. I did spend. What did I do with one of those? I had a package I thought I put in here. No telling. No telling at all. I don't remember how I had this. So, guys, I don't remember how I had this laid out. So, I'm going to cut these off and go on and put this row together. I know this is completely out of sequence on how I should be doing this, but this is my center, and I'm wanting to make sure I'm not putting center stuff crazy together. So let's find our first 2. This is our first set of 4. And the first set of 4, let me make sure this is right. Yes, that is right. And then this is our second set of 4. And I'll go on and pull this off and do the last square on that. This is not a designed out, planned out quilt. Like I said, it is meant to be scrappy, but you don't want, I'll show it to you as soon as I get it done. You don't want certain fabrics go in the same direction. You want it to have some difference in it. Okay, so we've got that. And I'm just going to add this last piece on that first row. And I will show it to you as soon as I get it sewn, because I am going to pull it off the machine. But anyway, obviously, if I'm talking about food, I'm getting hungry. I have to take medicine and can't eat for 30 minutes. Well, I took medicine at 4:30 and it's now almost 6. So I think I'm safe to eat, because this is a medicine that they want you to take on an empty stomach. So I do that. Okay, this is row number 5. And you'll see right there in the center how those colors go. So now I have the first 4 pieces here. And I'm going to kind of lay it out here to see. Oh no. I'm undoing it. I'm undoing it, guys. I'm going to make sure these lay out, and they are probably not going to, though. What I'm going to do is I have these together right here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make myself have a double hourglass. Each color is going to be an hourglass. So what I'm going to do now is unstitch this side. So now that I have that side unstitched, I'm going to pull this back up here and seeing how I need to lay it to make my pink fabric and my purple fabric to do like a bow tie or an hourglass. It's not a bow tie. Well, there's my design for the day, because the rest of this is completely random. And let's see what our next one is. It's going to be this, and it's going to be just like that. And friends, these are fabrics that came in that box. Is this fabrics I probably would have picked if I was picking fabrics? No, it's not. But they gave us these fabrics, so I am going to use it. I do like that it's springy like fabrics. I was afraid that in the Advent boxes that everything was going to be Christmassy. And although I love Christmas and I love Christmas projects, I do like to do other things as well. So now I am adding my last piece here. Yeah, I'm going to have a lot of threads. Doing it this way, you have a lot of threads. You have a lot of threads. Even if you do them 2 by 2, then 4 by 4, you still end up with the same amount of threads. But when my grandson gets here, I will make him grits and eggs and some sausage and give him some raspberries. My daughter doesn't have time to cook breakfast in the morning during the week because her fiance works out of state, and she is like the sole one that gets the baby up and gets him ready to go to daycare, and it's a lot, so she does good to giving him a honey bun, and I told her quit feeding that baby him honey buns. That if she couldn't do any better than that, get some frozen biscuits or meal prep it on the weekend, because that's just awful. Okay, guys, I am going to press, and then we will be right back, and we will be putting these 2 rows together. Okay, friends, we are now pressed and ready to be assembling these 2 rows together. I have this second one right here. I am going to pin them together, making sure I'm doing the right edge pinned together. We don't want to be sewing these wrong, so I am going on the bottom edge and pinning, making sure all of these seams nest, because they were pressed so they nest. And that's why I press, is so they will nest. It just gives me that tighter seam, and it goes flawless. Back on my grandbaby, my daughter, she was like, I'm going to be out there real early to clean, on the house. And I'm like, I know how early her early is. For her to be at work at 7 a.m. in the morning is a struggle. So I know her early is not my early. My early is 4:30 in the morning. That's when I get up. And her early, if she's not having to go to work, is 8 or 9 o'clock. But that's okay too. That gives me time to come in the sewing room. And guys, this is our little time spent in the sewing room. Even if this is all the time I get today. I have been in here. I've been doing, well, I have not been very, very active. But, guys, there are so many things I want to tell y'all right now. They're all popping in my head. So, let's get started on one of them. Things I've been doing, when I come in my sewing room, if it's not sewing related, because this is also my office. But being that this is the beginning of the year, we all know what that means. It's tax season. So I've been in here in my office trying to get all my paperwork. Because, YouTube is technically a business because you get paid. So that means I'm having to learn tax stuff. And I haven't done tax stuff on my own ever. I've always paid somebody to do it. And my husband, though, he likes to do his own taxes. Well, we've been paying a tax service that I'm not very confident in. And I'm going to do my taxes through a calculator first. Like, H&R Block provides a tax calculator. And I'm going to see what it would look like if I did my taxes separately. Because I did my taxes separately for years. Because I had children and I did all of that separately until my children got out of the house. Because I had to keep all of our stuff separate. Because my children are from a previous marriage. And you never know when they're going to pull up and want to see your income information. Well, the children, and I know they look at this differently now, but I don't believe this is right. The children were mine and my ex-husband's responsibilities, not my current husband's. He didn't birth these children, even though, he knew I was a package deal, me and 3 children. And he took on that role to be a step-parent. But as far as, the responsibility of them, that was not his to take on. They had a set of parents that took on responsibility for their care and everything. Now, did he do things? Absolutely, he did. I always just did my taxes separate. So, whenever questions came in, my ex-husband and I could do the income thing because they were our responsibility. After I didn't have to do that, we did taxes together, but I don't like how the people that he has doing taxes does them. I don't like it at all. So I'm seriously thinking about, I'm normally a pretty organized person, guys, until it comes to taxes. I got receipts. I got all kinds of receipts, but now I need to break them down. I'm going to have to get better about that in the new year. Let me press this, and then we'll assemble it to the other. These are our next 2 rows, and see, guys, we got our double hourglass there. So now we are going to assemble these 2 to the bottom of these 4. I have to make sure I have it right. So this is my top right here, because I know the 4 blocks going across, that's my top. So I'm laying this down in the proper fashion so I can pin. So what else am I doing at the beginning of the year? Well, hopefully this year I can do my garden. I've already been garden planting, and guys, I'll show y'all on Monday in my updates what I have done. I'm a big planner. I like to plan things. I like calendars, and I like paper calendars. I am not a digital calendar person. I like to be able to see it all at one time, and I know you can do that on digital calendars, but not the way I like it done. And my husband, he's like, why don't you just put it on a digital calendar? Because you have to keep up with calendars everywhere, because on a digital calendar, it's not as easy to do what I need to do. Probably could, but not how I like to do it. And I actually could not find a calendar like I wanted for my garden, so I just created my own. But this year's garden is going to be more about, I want to put foods up for whole, so I know what's in it. I want to put up some, I don't eat a lot of tomato products. I used to eat like spaghetti all the time, and I love spaghetti, but now, I have to watch my sugar intake, and that's part of sugar intake because that's pasta. So I have to be really careful about what I'm doing. And friends, I went and I carried my chair out to my little garden area. When I say garden, I don't have a full acre here. So, I mean, literally it is raised bed gardens that just fit wherever I can get them to fit. In this little area I have one area that is sunny for most of the day, I say. But now it's got some mature trees. When we put it there, the trees were not as mature. But now we have some mature trees there that block some of the sunlight. And for a garden, you've got to have so many hours of sunlight. What I'm trying to do is to just grow what I will eat. I have a strawberry patch, and I am thinking about getting rid of that patch because it's in one of my raised garden beds, and it doesn't seem to be doing really anything. Last year, it didn't do anything. I mean, it had some strawberries, but they were so tiny. And I don't know if that was a nutrient deficit reason or what. I don't know. Last year, we know I couldn't get in the garden because of my knee. I had surgery, and it's a little slope to get into my little garden beds. This year I'm hoping to, but anyway, I carried my chair out there because in January is the time to cut back your asparagus I call them fronds. It's time to cut those back. And when I went out there and started cutting those back, guys, I had a full harvest. I had a harvest of asparagus already coming up. We have had some 70-degree days here and there, and I guess it just encouraged it. But I cut the fronds. I'm probably going to need to cover that back up because we are predicted to have snow or ice tonight. We're going to be below freezing, and my guys have already been called. They're on standby. My boss, he had called me yesterday because they were doing prep work for the ice. He was calling me to find out what codes we needed to use, and well, I didn't know because they changed the codes on us and we hadn't had to use them yet. So I couldn't recall off the top of my head what we were supposed to be using. I just told him, you know, if they needed me, I could come in. He said, no, you just get better. And I was like, thank goodness they didn't need me, because he doesn't think they're going to do a call out. But that's okay if they do. So now I have these two added to this little quilt top. And we have like 4 more rows. So we may just do a sewing day where we just get it all done. But let me press this so we can see how it's turned out. Okay, friends, we have this part done. This is actually not the top. This is the top. That was the center there. You'll see our star starting to form right there in the center. This is when a design wall would be good, because I noticed I created an hourglass right there. But I don't have my room where I can have my design wall yet. I want to get all of this behind me. It is all of my project boxes. I want to get those. I like having them behind me, but my design wall would sit better back there. And I have a huge utility shelf right here behind you guys, like behind my camera, that I could stack my project boxes on so much easier. It would be easier to grab, but they're just right here behind me because that's the easiest thing for me right now. But friends, we've got 2 more rows added to our charmed, I'm sure, and 4 more left to go. Like I said, now that I'm back in the saddle a lot better, but now that I'm better and able to be in here a little longer than an hour, I can get a lot more stuff done. So we're doing all the things right now. We're doing house declutter. We're doing project finishes. We're doing garden things right now. So friends, it may be a hot mess, but hey, it's a mess and we're getting it done. So thank you so much for joining me. Give me a thumbs up if you have not yet. Feel free, click that subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss a thing we have going on here. Feel free to leave a comment. I do respond to each and every comment personally. And as always, until I see you again, I hope you have a very blessed day. Bye, friends.